Hey!
Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. I said this every time you play. Do we love our musicians? Do we love our musicians? All right. Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Oh, my, welcome to our ever-growing, ever-evolving spiritual community. Woodland Chapel, Salem's first and foremost spiritual place for living. Yes. Is there anyone visiting us for the very first time? I know of a couple way in the back holding their hand up. We want to say welcome. Now, we have a special information packet we'd like you to have. And let's see. Is Mariah there? Okay, we have Ruth. Take a look at that. There's some good stuff in there. There's a Science of Mind magazine. It's really worth taking a look at, really. And we want to say that we're glad you're here. We hope that you'll like what you hear and like what you see, and we hope that you'll come back and see us again and again until you become part of our spiritual family. So welcome, welcome. There it is right there. Thank you, Ruth. You know, I'm Reverend Don Kerr, and along with our other spiritual team members, beginning with our senior minister, Reverend Maur Horton, who did the meditation this morning, by the way. If you weren't here, ooh, yeah, great, great. And our staff minister, Reverend Julie Applegate, will be here next week. And our four serving special, wonderful practitioners. Ruth just walked back and got a packet for the couple back here. And Cheryl's right over here, sitting there. Donna is down taking care of children. And behind me, sitting, hiding away, she'll be popping up any minute now, is Kathy Prather, the senior practitioner. So, you know, they're all qualified practitioners. And Reverend Moore and Reverend Julie and myself, we do this, what we call the prayer power, this blessing, healing modality. We call it spiritual mind treatment sometimes. And we use this to simply ask you to ask us for prayer. Anytime, on anything. Don't hesitate to ask for specific prayer treatment because in any area of your life that it may be, I, Reverend Moore, Reverend Julie, the practitioners, we definitely are here to just take care of that. What we do is we don't tell you how or what or when. What we do is we hold the spiritual servant of light, that love and that power and that presence. And I'm going to let you on a little important secret. In the service we're all ready to grace and grant you with here, anytime you decide you want something spoken to, whether it be about life, love, or whatever, your contact with us is going to be absolutely confidential, totally confidential. We don't need to have all the details of your life or your situation. We just connect you with on your level of what you feel that you may need or desire at that moment. And we see only the power, we see only the presence and the divine will, that's that intention for you to fulfill that desire.
Reverend
So,
Don,
moving.
did you remember that we have those little pieces of paper out there with the prayer request form?
Oh, I forgot about that.
I just mentioned that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
the-
if you look, there we go. See some of them
In
already
the
have them up.
back of your,
If
yeah.
there's something on your heart that you'd like prayer about today, just take a moment, write it down. If you want to make contact with us or us to make contact with you, just leave a phone number or something, so we can do that. So anyway, just wanted to be sure to mention that.
Thank you. And, you know, we have some more announcements to get into.
Uh-huh.
But before we do that, this is the first service in the month of February, and we'd like to see if there's anybody that has a birthday. We'd like to sing happy birthday to you. There's up in the balcony is Olivia. Looking down. Anyone else? Up, Shannon. Oh, in the corner, Olivia's mom. Let's go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God loves you. Happy birthday to you.
Yes, indeed. Oh, let me think. Do we have some announcements, I think, to make. Reverend Moore, can you help me with these announcements? Isn't there something about our furnace and
Love
whatnot?
to help you with the announcements.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I know I have glasses somewhere. All right. Well, the first thing is, thanks for wearing your masks today. I know we require it, but it's so easy when everybody cooperates, and we just love that. We believe in the power of mind, and we believe in the rational conclusions of science, both. Next week, we have a distinguished speaker, someone who always moves our hearts. It's Reverend Don Kerr. Ta-da. And he's going to speak about peace and pause and find the cause. Okay, a ministry team meeting this week, folks, on the 9th at 10:15. Our annual meeting, remember, is on February the 20th, and it will start shortly after the Sunday celebration. Now, there's an announcement that is not in your, it's not printed, and it is that after service today, after a few minutes, and chapel clears out, there at least a couple of us are going to watch a video. And the video is of the spiritual leader of the entire worldwide Center for Spiritual Living. His name is Dr. Edward Viljoen, and he gave quite a good talk at the conference, and this is a recording of that talk. So if you'd like to join us, feel free. We'll have some chairs, or we'll set it up in here, okay? Yes? Oh, well, yes. Thursdays at 1:30, book discussion where the Untethered Soul continues, and it's open for drop-in. There are some pamphlets or little study guides on the round table in the library. So if you'd like to just pick up one of those in case you want to come, you'll see how each week, this next week is the second week. So we'll be covering chapters 5 through 7 of The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer.
Yeah, that's a good book, isn't it?
It is. Any
Wow.
other announcements? Mariah?
Okay.
No? Oh, okay. Thank you.
We're all birthdayed
much
out,
fog.
so I guess we're going to sing a song.
Yeah, I'd like
Okay.
to invite you to stand. We can get your clap on, your snap on, get your groove on. Okay. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. job.
Oh my goodness gracious sakes alive. We're having fun today. So what we're going to do now, before we go any further, we're going to pray ourselves in. We're going to have this moment that our senior practitioner, Kathy Prather, is going to lay upon us, a blessing and a prayer. It'll make you feel like you're ready for the rest of the week. Kathy?
Good morning. Donna is downstairs with the children, so I'm filling in with the invocation this morning. So would you please join with me in knowing that today is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And so we know that we have this now moment. There is no yesterday. There is no tomorrow. There's only now. So we are each here now in this moment. And I know in this moment there is the presence of God. There is the presence uplifting us, holding us closely. And that presence knows us for who we are, and this presence supports us in every way possible. So we are always connected to our source. We are always connected to that presence. And we come here today to be in community. We come here to be in community with each other and to recognize that presence in each one of us. And so I know today is blessed. Today goes forward beautifully, and each one of us is filled up with the presence of Spirit. And I say amen to that. And would you join with me, please, in the affirmation that you find in your program? The Spirit of God is within me. I am confident, creative channel for that Spirit. New possibilities burst into reality. I am so thankful, and so it is.
Thank you, Kathy. You're welcome. Don't you feel all prayed in now? Feel good? Okay. You know, we at this time have a special reading usually. The person who is doing that reading called me and said that they were fogged in. They live in Tigard. I'm glad you guys made it down from Portland. Okay, was it foggy when you were coming down?
It was.
Okay.
I was glad I knew where I was going.
Okay.
We used our foghorns.
Foghorn. Well, what we're going to do now, though, I'll do the reading here. I take the one that Carol had in mind to read, and I will see what I can do with it. It's on page 38 of this month's Science of Mind magazine. It's called Life's Coming Attraction. And it starts out with an anonymous onlooker who said, I don't like it when a couple argues in public and I missed the beginning and I don't know whose side I'm on. It goes on. Dr. Holmes straightens us up here. He says, we have been so afraid of mentioning the word God and so superstitious about everything concerning the deity that the thought of ourselves as divine has been foreign to the general conception. Something to think about. And in the body of the guide here says, have you ever walked in on a movie when it was almost over? Everyone seems so happy. The stars get their dream partners. The villains end up where they belong. Everything works out, and everyone lives abundantly, laughingly, and smiling ever after. What you missed was the drama, the struggle, and the car chase it took for the couple to arrive in their paradise. And when you see someone whose life seems charmed, whose prosperity flows, and whose love abounds, what you don't know is what it took for them to reach this destination. It's easy to think, some people get all the good breaks, they're so lucky. What you don't see is all they went through to arrive at their good fortune. The risks that are taken, the sacrifices made, and the missed family times, the losses incurred, and the hard lessons that were learned. When you learn to celebrate the good in others' lives without judgment, you just caught a preview of your own life's coming attraction. Good will make an appearance in your life soon. And they put an affirmation on that as very, very sweet. It says, I am as happy for others' good fortune as I am for my own. And so it is. So it is. Okay, we have some special music, do we not?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a song called Let Love Rule. It's by Lenny Kravitz.
Let's do that. Okay. And on the way to doing that, oh my goodness gracious, fasten your seat belts and don't lock the door back there. Nobody leave, because Reverend Moore is going to kick some doors open and open some windows on something that we could all use today. Reverend Moore, let's give him a warm hand.
John, thank you very much. What a beautiful day it is today. We have the opportunity to address two questions that have, I think, occupied the minds of thinkers for centuries. Who am I? And why am I here? Right? Very basic questions. Now, these questions are going to be good to talk about, but I'm going to take a little break from that, okay? And my little break from that is, I want to say something about two really lovely people. They helped me to really enjoy the Centers for Spiritual Living conference that I was attending in, it's sort of like Palm Springs, but it's called Indian Wells. I don't know if you're familiar with California, but anyway, beautiful place. And these two people are Michelle and Phyllis Giammatteo. Does anybody know Michelle Giammatteo? Yeah, and her mom, Phyllis. Yeah, right. They are down there taking care of matters due to Michael's passing. And as they were there, they were sharing with me the service model because they came to the airport and picked me up. And then we went out together to Sherman's for dinner. And then they delivered me to the resort. What a wonderful welcome. And let me tell you, the resort itself, if you ever get a chance, it was the Hyatt Regency. It's a beautiful resort. And we were so fortunate. Sunshine and warm temperatures the whole week. It was so great. I loved it. I think I began to understand why people become snowbirds. It's really lovely down there. It truly is. Oh my goodness sakes. Now during the conference we did many good things. We did workshops and we did praying and we did singing and we did all this sort of thing. We accomplished some business. We elected new members to our leadership council for the Centers for Spiritual Living. We elected members to the Council for Ministers and Practitioners and Laity. So we did some business. We spent, I think, a whole day on business, and we passed a resolution or two. So things were accomplished at this conference. And I just wanted to share with you my gratitude of being able to attend this and be able to represent Woodland Chapel and vote on the issues and people and so forth that came up. It was truly a fun place to be. Have any of you ever been in Southern California when it's beautiful? Yeah, that's a great place.
I've been there when it was 117 degrees at 2 o'clock in the morning.
That is not quite the time you want to be there. Unless you're inside, like I was, in a wonderful hotel and air conditioned, in which I would not have been. We didn't have that. We had beautiful, beautiful times. So I just wanted to kind of warm up by saying I'm so grateful for that experience, and it, I think, benefited all of us. So the question that we're talking about this morning is, who am I? There's a lot of possible answers to that, isn't there? You could say, well, I'm a senior minister at Woodland Chapel, and I deliver talks on Sunday, and I'm a father and a grandfather and a great-grandfather. I'm all of that. But is that who I am? Is that really who I am? Well, let's look a little deeper into that. We all play different roles in life, that's true. But let's look a little deeper and say, okay, who am I? Well, I'm me. Here, right here, physical body, right here. I'm my body. I express myself in my body. My mind and my body work so well together. I mean, if I think something, and especially if it's emotionally charged, through the nerves it goes, through the neurotransmitters, it's almost instantaneous. Less than a fifth of the second, I've heard, to get from the mental conception to the bottom of your toes. Okay? It's fast. It works. So this body is marvelous. It's truly wonderful. I mean, have you... to illustrate this, have you ever walked into a kitchen and smelled something delicious? It might be, I don't know, what kind of soup do you like? Oh, I like chicken noodle soup. I walked into my home the other evening and Vicki had prepared some ramen noodles and some chicken in it and some special sauce and all of that. My mouth started watering before I could hardly get through the door. It's so quick with our bodies, isn't it? Oh gosh, have you ever embraced someone or shook a hand and felt energy, kind of transfer, energy to, kind of felt the love or felt the wonder of being in presence with another person? It's a great feeling. I know last week, Brother Jerry Braza came in. Some of you were here to hear Jerry's wonderful talk. Wasn't that beautiful? Oh. Well, he and I have known each other for, 20-some-odd years or more. And just before he left, we shook hands and looked deeply into each other's eyes and then hugged. Our bodies are wonderful. Have any of you kind of missed some of the hugs we've had around here? Yes, the hugs are wonderful. So our bodies are beautiful instruments. I was reading this morning in The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, and I think what he said is, our bodies are the harp of the soul. Ooh, yeah, the divine music plays through our bodies. Yet, are we just our bodies? No, I don't think so. Well, let's look at another area then. Perhaps when I say, who am I, I'm talking about my personality, my inner use of the mind and all of that, all the thoughts and the beliefs and all of that sort of thing that come into me and come to be considered by me. That's pretty important, right? It's pretty close. It's getting close to being who I am. You know, sometimes we have pain in life. It can be physical pain. It can be mental, emotional pain. Now, the physical pain, typically, we would have the opportunity to probably have some sort of medication or a physical therapy or something to relieve the pain, physical pain. But when we have psychic pain, when we have emotional pain, when we have the suffering in relationships, that can be a little harder to deal with. It can take a little more processing. It can require that we actually handle something that we're not too comfortable with. Now, one of the pre-conference meetings that I went to, or the pre-conference meeting I went to at the CSL conference down in California, was on really a new type of, at least a concept that was pretty new to me. And that concept is called, now I get this right, internal family systems. And this isn't, internal family systems. I'll explain a little bit. First of all, when we think about the mind, here in Science of Mind, we typically think of the conscious mind, and then we might call it the subjective mind or the unconscious mind, right? Those are pretty familiar terms to us. And we know from mind through law to manifestations, 3 parts of the creative process. Well, this internal family systems looks at the mind in terms of what's happening within it. And it postulates that there are parts to the mind, that our parts to the mind can be what we might call sub-personalities, if you will, kind of a complex of thought, feeling, and emotion. And maybe the easiest place, there are 3 types of these mental constructs or mental expressions of the mind in this approach. And maybe the easiest one to understand is called exile. There are times in life when we have something that is so disturbing that we really can't handle it. We really can't bring it to our full attention. Maybe we're too young. We see a traumatic event, or something happens to us, or we see one or witness one, and we just can't really handle it. So we tend to bury it. We bury it in our mental, unconscious mind, if you will. And what happens is, as we bury these things, we kind of wrap them in psychic energy, in a type of energy that all of us have, that will buffer it. It'll keep it there. It won't let it come up. It stays in our mind. It's called the exile. It's a type of exile. It can be a construct or a concept or a aspect of the personality. So those pretty easy to understand. But then there's what's called the firefighters. The firefighters are there to keep the exiles from fighting too much. Okay, if they get in a disagreement, we got 2 or 3 different sub-personalities trying to take over, come up, be calm, don't take it easy, don't do anything wild. Here, let's think about food, let's think about entertainment, let's think about playing golf, let's think about going home, distract them, okay? Firefighters there to hose it down, keep it peaceful. And then the 3rd type of construct is called managers. Now managers, or the manager, however you want to think of it, are there to keep us present in the world, right? We can go to work, we can do our thing, we can get our cars repaired, we can take care of our children. We don't have to pay attention to all these exiles and any firefighting that might be going on. It kind of keeps us on the surface of things and keeps everything working. Now, in the conference, pre-conference meeting, we had, 30, 40 people there, and they were talking about it. And I said, well, I kind of like that manager role. I think that's the one I want to identify with. Keep me working, keep me going. And they all kind of laughed, like you did. And so those are kind of the 3 basic elements, if you will, in this internal family systems approach to the mind. But that internal family systems approach to the mind has another element, something that's more basic, something that is truly present everywhere in us. And they just call it the self. The self. The self is that which actually is there to lead and coordinate and bring our inner life into harmony. That's what the self does. The self has always been there, okay? Now, you probably have many examples of yourself. I think the self comes up quite a bit when we say things like, I remember when I was in Paris and I saw the Eiffel Tower. Or I remember when I was a child and I walked to the park and my mom didn't know and she got really mad. And I didn't know. I wasn't mad at all. I was happy until she got mad. So the I, it is the I of the I am. It's the self. This is in the internal family systems approach to understanding this complex of our personality, this complex of our mind. Okay? Now, I find, we're, as Kathy Daniels mentioned, we are discussing a book called The Untethered Soul. In it, Michael Singer does a similar type of regression or analysis, I'd say, of the interior life, and comes to the self as the witness. That which sees, that which hears, that which decides, that which actually is always there. We may not be aware of it. Some of our sub-personalities might come up and we've got problems and we've got to handle them, and it's okay for them to come up. They need to come up to heal us. Right? So let me see if I can give an example. Let's go back to that idea. Let's say we have an exile thought, and it's aggressive. We're angry, we're mad, we're upset at ourselves. We're mad because we didn't do this. We're mad because we didn't do that. We're mad because whatever. We're angry, we're disturbed with what we've been doing in life. And we have to, we can let the firefighters hose it down, or we can let it come up. And we can say, oh, listen, what part of me is this aggressive behavior, this terrible approach? What part is it? And invite it to come into the room, so to speak, and give it a chair and say, what is it you have to tell me? What am I to learn from this part? And as we do that, as we accept it, then the psychic energy charge around that particular construct, around that particular sub-personality, tends to dissipate. And that's called doing the work. That's called moving through disturbances and lacks of ability to be truly ourselves in certain situations. Because these sub-personalities like to come in and take over whenever we get a little unsure of what's going on. So the self then manages all this and brings it to coordination and harmony. And it is the same self that we've always lived with since we were a child. It's the same self that we know is part of the great I am. How is that? Well, when we think about being the expression of who we truly are and come to the self, it is the witness, I believe, and I believe it is always available to us to access. But I think it's even more than that. I think it's more than just the witness, which it is. It's that higher self. It's that supreme concept of our best and truest beingness that expresses through our lives. It is, I call it a portal, a gateway, a doorway to the infinite. Because the same I am, we are all created of the same energy. We are all created of the divine goodness and the divine life. The substance of everything is substance that comes from the divine. It's substance that is the divine. And so as we begin to know this, we begin to see our witness being, our internal self, is really our participation in the consciousness of the infinite, in the wonders of the infinite, in the wonders of life itself. It is our participation. We are vessels. We are vessels of God. We are vessels of the Supreme Being. We are vessels of all that is. We express it. Now, if you can go with me on this understanding, we might say, well, what is this higher self? What is its nature? What does it want to do? Does it do anything? Does it do anything? Hard to say, but it's not really. Do you remember, and I don't know if I can get the words exactly right, but it'll be real close. In the Epistle of John, in chapter 4, verse 17, there's a saying that God is love. Right? And he who loves God, or whoever loves God, is God, is in God, and God is in that person. Do you remember that saying? Yeah, it's pretty powerful. Because what we're saying is that oneness, that I-ness, that I am that's in us is the same I am that is in the divine, and the I am that is in the divine. What's the word that the Gospels say, or that the teaching says, that mystics tell us? God is love. So the internalness that we have and our participation in that internalness is love. So it's really true to say, who am I? I am the one who loves. I am the one who loves. That's who I am. That's who you are. That's who every person is. And we don't always remember that. Sometimes our subpersonality things get in the way. Sometimes they disrupt us from expressing this in every single circumstance. We might get angry and be not our best selves, right? But those things happen. But we can always come back to it. We can always come back to that center, to that witness, to that presence of the infinite, which is goodness, which is love, which is life, which is power, which is energy, which is the exuberance of life itself. That's what's inside of us. Just have to touch it. Just have to be aware of it. So that's the first question. Who am I? I think we've gone through that question and discovered perhaps some insights along the way, but it's led us to a realization of the role of the divine in our interior lives. It's central. It's so beautiful and wonderful. Now, our second question is, what was our second question? Why am I here? Thank you. You're paying attention. That's good. I kind of remembered that. Why am I here? What am I here to do? What is this all about? I mean, okay, I'm this wonderful divine being in essence, and I'm working to process everything that gets in the way of being that, of expressing that. I'm willing to address what comes up and take care of it as best I can, and I rely on the infinite love of God to help me do that. But why am I here? Well, at this point, I would like to refer to a very simple song. You may all remember it. It is... You remember the song? I am capable of being the best me I can. So what are we here? We're here to express love. We're here to be the love. We're here to make it in action. We're here to love. We're here to serve. We're here to remember. to remember who we are and to let that love and let that life express in the beauty of our own souls. And we know that this beauty is immense because we are capable. We are truly able to be who we want to be. Yet, perfect as we are, in this inner self, in this perfect self, as perfect as we are, we're willing to grow. We're willing to grow and become even more completely an expression and a vessel of the infinite right here, right now. Oh yes. And you know what? That's true for you. You too are capable. You too are beautiful. You too express this same love. And I love the world just the way it is. Just the way it is, because I know that people just like me are present in the world. And they too are working through the beauty and the expression so that they might express more perfectly that self, that participation in divine love. And I will do all I can to help this world grow, to help this grow to be an expression of peace, mutual acceptance, wonder, life, and of course love. I truly am. So beautiful, so capable, and so is all the world around me. That is the truth. It truly is the truth. I'd like to use a few words from Dr. Holmes. And I have a book here somewhere. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. How many of you are familiar with the book called This Thing Called You by Dr. Holmes? It's really a great book to introduce yourself to some really, really wonderful concepts. And I have found it very, very, very helpful along the way. And I'm quoting, "Therefore, you need not be disturbed by the passage of time, the movement around you, nor the variations of experience through which you go. There is something within you that remains unmovable, that always speaks directly to you, saying, 'Be still and know that I am God.' And I say, consciously I draw upon the life that is mine. I know that the fullness of life, which is divine in its origin, eternal in its presence, and forever available, is mine. The life of the eternal Spirit is my life. The infinite riches of its beings are mine to enjoy. The vitality, the wisdom, and the peace of God are mine. I accept them in fullness, in joy, and in peace. I need but permit its radiance to flow through my thought into self-expression. As I enter into life, feeling the divine presence in everything more and more, I will hear a song of joy, a singing at the center of my being. You have only to be still and listen to this song of life, for it's always there. I say, peace is forever chanting its hymn of praise and beauty at the center of my being. Therefore, I tune out of my mind all unhappy and negative ideas. I turn the dial of my thought into the sunshine of life, into brightness and laughter, into the joyous presence of radiant spirit. Joyously, I anticipate greater abundance, more success, and a deeper peace. I lay aside all anxiety, all striving, and let the flow of divine love operate through me into my affairs. Joy wells up within my mind, and life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. The I am, the wonder, the life. Yes. And I would say, and so it is.
Why have you come to earth? Do you remember? Why have you taken birth? Why have you come to love, serve and remember? To love, serve and remember. To love, serve and remember. To love, serve and remember. To love. Why have you come to earth? Do you remember? Why have you taken birth? Why have you come to love, serve and remember? To love, serve and remember. To love, serve and remember. To love, serve and remember. You want to sing with us? To love, serve and remember. 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 To love.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Mark. Let's take just a moment. Let's take just a moment to bring together all the thinking, all the feeling, all the life, all the love that is, as we begin to realize there is just one presence, just one life, just one love, and it expresses itself through its very own substance into all of creation. There's nothing that is truly separate from the love of God, and that includes me. And that includes every person. And I invite you to join with me mentally as I speak these words in the first person. I am aware. I am aware that I am an expression of the infinite. I am a vessel of life. I am a vessel of goodness. I am awake to the possibilities of life itself. I am awake to prosperity, the true prosperity of loving relationships, truly embracing me in love and my embracing everyone in love. I am open to the true prosperity of having enough to spare and to share, freely to give from my heart, from what I am. I am awake to the beingness and the beauty and the wonder that is in every single person. I realize that I see the face of God as I see each person. This is the truth. And I am willing. I am willing to do whatever work is necessary for the goodness of the infinite self to express through myself and to clear any areas of my life that may be troublesome, that may not be in accord with what I would like to see as my true intention. My true intention. I'm willing to do that. And I give thanks. I give thanks for the vision, for the insight, for the inspiration, for the goodness and the life and the love that is in me and every person and in the world. And oh my goodness, it's just everywhere. I give thanks for it all. I truly do. And I let go. I don't worry about how it's going to happen because I know there is a law. There is a tremendous creative, powerful law that brings all into expression in beautiful harmony and wonderful divine right order for me and for the whole world, for every part of the world, for no matter what appears, underneath it all there is this infinite loving self that expresses itself and will bring about the true harmony and wonder of making this a world that truly works for everyone. With this in my heart then, I just let go and let God, and please join me in saying, and so it is. Amen. Well, we've had a good time together today, I hope. We've had a chance to kind of look at each other's souls a little bit, or examine our own souls a little bit, how things might work. And that's the gift. That's part of the gift of the teaching, is part of the gift of revelation of our true selves that we accomplish here. And part of our gift giving is we give and we receive. We have a law of circulation. And so at this time, I'd like to invite, I don't know, Gail, are you up for that? To come up? No? Okay. All right, Shannon and Kathy, would you like to come up and we'll do our collection. I think there's some words in the program that speak to this time of giving. And I believe it's called offering. So let's say the words together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate, and so it is. There's a song too.
Yeah, so this is a new song, probably new to you guys as well. I encourage you to look up Amber Darlin on online, wherever you get your music. She's got amazing songs. We'll be singing this one for a while so we can settle in and get to know it. Everything in this world goes around, flowing with abundance, it knows no bounds. Giving and receiving, we circulate the love with gratitude and knowing there's always enough. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks with this offering. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for everything. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks with this offering. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for everything. Everything in this world goes around, flowing with abundance, it knows no bounds. Giving and receiving, we circulate the love with gratitude and knowing there's always enough. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks with this offering. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for everything. We give thanks for everything. We give thanks for everything.
Beautifully done. There's a beauty and a wonder that exists in our own souls, in that self, and in all parts of our being. And for whether we call it the self, or we call it a construct, or we call it our bodies, we are one. We are one in the infinite, living, loving presence of the one itself. We express this oneness. And every gift given here this morning is gratefully received because it helps to express that oneness, to make that oneness alive and keep the lights on, the heat working, and folks being here and all that sort of thing. But most important, it comes from the heart. It comes from the givingness of our hearts. And so we just bless and accept all of this, and let us say together, and so it is. There's a wonderful prayer that's in your program. It's called the Prayer of Protection. Let's recite that together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let's stand and sing together. Let there be peace on earth. The words are also in your program.